anyway, Coventry. Then you went to York.
And, I went back to York with Bobby Saxton, yeah.
And didn't quite work out. And then one day, Brian Little rang you up.
Well, what happened at York, Bobby Saxton took me on, paid a lot of money for me. I think he paid about 50 grand for the most I've ever paid for a centre-half. After about 5 games, he resigned, and it was like, what? So then an old player, Barry Swan, took over, which was crazy. And then eventually John Bird come, and no disrespect to John Bird, but his type of football was not for me. The kick and rush and push up fast, that wasn't for me. I was an expensive player for them, and I think he quickly realised he needed players in, and he wanted me to leave so he could afford 2 players for the price of me. At first, I was reluctant because I liked York. It'd been a very up and down season. In the latter half, second half of the season, it settled down for me, and I played relatively well. Alan Little was there as John Bird's number 2, and I think somewhere along the line, Alan had whispered to Brian that John wanted me to go, and if there was a chance, that Kit Smudger might go back because he did 6 years. So me and John had a chat, and I said, look, I'm owed money, part of my signing on fee. I won't go unless I get that, which he was reluctant to do. And I said, well, I'll be here next year. And then out of the blue, he said, look, Brian Little wants to speak to you. And again, at first, I thought, hang on a minute, I've gone from what is now the Premiership, and I'm going to go into non-league football within a season in 3 months. And I thought, no, I'm not doing that. That would just be football suicide.
Yeah, and that was understandable, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, that was me going out the professional game when I still had lots of years left to go. But out of courtesy, when Brian rang me, I went up to speak to him. And again, like I did with Norman Hunter, as soon as I got speaking to Brian, and he told me his plans, and he told me that I was like going to be a major cog in his wheel, and that he'd got Andy Torman, and he was going for John Borthwick, and he told me his plans, and Davy Conn, and I thought, this sounds like a great challenge and an exciting journey. And I just went out the blue. I said, look, I'm going to Jersey tomorrow. Get me a contract and I'll sign it now. And he was like, eh? And I went, do it now before I had time to think about this. So he literally ran out, got the contracts, I signed them there and then, and I walked out again with a copy of my contract. Drove back to York because I was living in York, and I started to sign for Darlington, and that was it. And on the next thing, Brian Kilcline's ringing me up, Cyril's ringing me up, Speedy's ringing me up, Keith Houchin's ringing me up, Dave Bennett rang me up. Are you mad? Are you stupid? Are you on drugs? What are you doing? And I said, oh, and I did. To be honest, they did make me wobble, because when I got that many ringing me saying, "Are you crazy? I can't believe you've done that," it did question myself whether I'd made the right decision. But I did. But I had.
Yeah, you did. But I think key to it though was that Darlington decided to stay full time after they dropped out of the Football League, because in the conference then there were only 2 full-time teams, us and Barnet.
Yeah, that is correct. Are you there?
Yes.
Battery, John. But I want this quick. So yeah, I mean, that was the case. The fact that they were staying pro, and there was going to be a few bob to get these players together, was a deciding factor, and it all come good.
2 successive championships after that, though. The first one in the conference. I mean, there was so much interest, so much enthusiasm from the fans, wasn't there, in that first season? It was a brand new adventure for everybody concerned, wasn't it? Going to some way out places. Let's be honest, that we'd never heard of.
I mean, even for you, Ray, if we go from the kit man to the groundsman to the manager, to the chairman at the time, to us as players, to the supporters, the whole town. It was a new journey for all of us. and the interest was massive from day one. And yeah, we had the stairways, so we're just waiting to see what happened. But after 2 or 4 games, they started to come because they all wanted to be a part of an unknown journey, because we were all playing in an unknown places, and some of the places, you know, you'd have been better off in bloody South Park than some of the games we played. And some of the teams, some of the characters we come up against, they'd have been better off in a ring than they were in a bloody football pitch. So yeah, it was a journey for all of us, and an exciting one, and we were all as one, as a town, as a team. It was just fantastic.
Yeah, the climax to the season, though, it was so up and down, wasn't it? Because Cheltenham at home, we beat them 5-1. I mean, you scored with a stunning volley. Can I use that phrase? A stunning volley?
Well, yeah, it stunned me, so yeah.
I think it stunned the rest of the fans as well, because I can always remember the stunned silence when the ball went in the net.
I can't believe I didn't get goal of the season. Yeah, you know, some of the lads are, you know, I was very wary as captain, and I was like the main person, without trying to build myself up, that went around the lads and jigged them up and got them smiling and laughing and quickly forgetting things and moving on and clearing the heads and getting them to focus on the next step. And I think I did a really good job travelling back that day, going around with certain members who I looked at and I could see it was affecting. And basically, because I never waned, some of the players I can only speak for me, I never once doubted we weren't going to get that position. I never waned. Even when we came away from that game, Ray, I never waned. I just went, as I said to the lads, I went, we're going into the last game. What better way to do it? What better way to do it? Only do it one way. We do it, Dad. We'll do it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
And that was my attitude right through.
Yeah. And what a day that was. I mean, to see there's so many Darlow fans in that ground.
It was like a home game.
It's like a home game, and Wellens in London, 250 miles away, and there was over, I think it was 1,200 Darlow fans in there that day.
I mean, it was a fantastic following. It's like our Wembley, wasn't it?
Yeah.
But again, I mean, I must admit, when we got to the ground, it was a really warm day, and I walked on the pitch, and for the first time, I actually had a little gulp, thinking, this pitch ain't going to suit us, it's going to suit them.
Yeah, very bobbly, wasn't it? Very bobbly.
So I think that was the only time I allowed a little bit of doubt to get in my mind as we walked in there, and I looked at it and thought, whoa, we have got to be right today.
Yes.
And thankfully we were.
Yeah, Gary Coatsworth.
Yeah. And to be fair, you know, it couldn't happen to a nicer guy, you know, because he was so unlucky in that year. You know, he was good enough, and he was always ready to step in. He was good enough to maintain that shirt. But the only fault, and it wasn't his fault, was the players that had the shirt at the time just played to a standard that he was equal to, but you know, couldn't crack the egg to get in there and make the shirt his own.
Yeah. Kept the momentum going the following season into the fourth division. There, it's all right. We lost 1 or 2 daft games, but we won so many, didn't we? Very good away from home. You know, let's make sure we keep the opposition out. And I think we kept. I don't know the number of clean sheets, but there were plenty.
Defensively, Ray, Brian said, "Look, if we keep a clean sheet, we ain't losing the game. We are not losing the game." And he instilled from the following year. We had that anyway. We had that mentality, but he just sort of made the importance of it that little bit more sharper in our minds. And you've got to take your hat off. Brian was so professional in everything that he did, meticulous. The build-up, what we did. We always had the enjoyment of a ball at our feet throughout the week. We were never starved of that. Our scouting with Barry Geldad was first class. His reports were absolutely spot on. You know, we just went through it all really meticulously with a fine tooth comb, ready to be prepped and ready for the day. And we came out fighting after the GM Vauxhall because we honestly thought it couldn't be harder than that going into the third. And we were already battle hardened and ready, and I think that's what you know helped us.
Yeah, Brian only added 1 player to that squad, didn't he? Mick Tate.
Mickey Tate, yeah, and what a good member he was.
Yeah,
Yeah, you couldn't have asked for a better guy to come into the squad than Mickey.
Yeah, murder ball too.
You didn't murder the ball with Mick. You let him go by.
Yeah, but a top quality signing. I think he came in from Portsmouth, wasn't it, or Reading or somewhere like that.
Yeah, I think he'd come from Reading. He'd come from Reading, being at Portsmouth though. But the vast experience he had, and to be fair to Mick, he was a good player, and he played in a couple of positions for us. But what a quiet man, considering the reputation.
Yeah, exactly. But again, celebrations at the end of that season. Bit of a nerve jangler at the end against Rochdale, but the early Frank Ray penalty did it for us.
Yeah, but Ray, with that amount, I think we had 9,000 in the ground.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
we weren't losing that. We were already 1-0 when they turned up to support us.
Yeah. But another great achievement, though, wasn't it? His little Darlington winning 2 titles in a row to go up into the North Division, as he was at the time.
Yeah, I mean, I think we firmly put Darlington on the map as a footballing side in them days. We earned it. We worked hard for it. We sacrificed a lot. Mm-hmm. We had great team spirit. We had a camaraderie among ourselves, without the manager and the assistant manager. And then when they stepped in the room, it just got stronger.